Hola everyone, this is part 2 of my Latinx Heritage Month reading vlog. Because it is a month long, I broke it into 2 parts. In part 1, I was listening to Ira of the Bees unscribed, but I DNF'd it because I really didn't care about the family. It's about this family, this Mexican family who visits their grandpa in the farm, and he has dementia, and he just keeps rambling on about bees and how the land has been so dry because there's no rain, and it just was not that interesting, so I DNF'd it. And then I was reading Hour of the Darkness on my Kindle, and this one is interesting. Let's see how far I am. So this is my Kindle. I am 60% of the way through. I'm almost done. I feel like if I focus tonight, I can finish it because it says I have an hour and 10 minutes left in the book. Anyways, this book is interesting to me because it's a historical fiction. I really enjoy reading historical fiction. Although I mentioned it in my last vlog, it doesn't feel like a historical fiction because most of the time it sounds more like a fiction book. Okay, so the book is based on a true event that happened in New London, Texas in 1937. There was a school explosion that happened because of natural gas, and hundreds of children, students, and teachers passed away sadly. So the opening scene of the book starts out after the explosion happened, and right now I'm reading before, it goes back in time, before the explosion happened. And so most of the book, like I'm reading right now, is just the story about Naomi and her family and Wash and his family. So it doesn't seem like a historical fiction so far. But yes, I'm enjoying this still, and I hope my main goal tonight is to read this book and then try to finish it. Another book I am listening to on Scribd. This one is a book that's been on my TBR list for so long because it came out in, I believe, 2013. It's Aristotle and Dante. So these books are also based on Mexican characters. Both boys, Aristotle and Dante, are Mexican boys who are kind of awkward and shy. They don't have much friends, but they somehow find each other and they click and they become best friends. So I am almost done with this as well. I have about 2 hours left in the book to listen to, and I'm listening at 1.5 speed. I cannot listen at 3 times the speed. I wish I could, because then I could finish this book right away. But I try to listen to this book while I'm walking to work. I have about a 20-minute walk to work, so I will listen 20 minutes and then 20 minutes back coming home. So that's how I've been listening to this book. I'm enjoying this book as well. It's hard to put into words why I like this book. There's some humor in it. I enjoy some Spanish words thrown in there. I really care for Aristotle and Dante, both of the characters. I love their family and their relationship. At this moment, I feel sorry for Dante because Dante is this cheerful boy who's always so nice to Aristotle, and he's a chatty one. But Aristotle is always grumpy and irritable. Something happens in the first 100 pages where it kind of changes their relationship. So they were besties and something happens, and then Aristotle becomes really irritable and angry all the time, and we're still trying to figure out why, although I kind of have a guess at why he feels angry. So yes, that's that. I'm going to keep listening to that one for a few more days, I believe. Once I finish tonight, Out of Darkness, I'm hoping to start Marina, which is a gothic horror book. Again, it's kind of, I think it's Mexican. I guess I have a thing for Mexican things. It's written by the same author who wrote Shadows of the Wind. It's a trilogy. I love the first book. I have to start reading the second and the third book. I still have yet to read that book. But Marina is written by Carlos Luis Zafón. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's set in, oh, it's not Mexican, it's Barcelona. I made a mistake. So finally we have something other than Mexico. It is set in Spain, Barcelona in 1980s, and it's a gothic horror. That's all I know. Yeah, so I'm excited to start that. Hopefully I can start that tonight or tomorrow, we'll see. So without further ado, let's get started with part 2 of Latinx Heritage Month vlog. Vámonos! Oh my god, I look like a mess. I look really tired. It's because I am. It is Thursday night and it's rainy and cold. I'm wrapped up in my blanket that I got from Vietnam. I love it so much. And I caved in. It's really cold, so I got some matcha tea latte from Starbucks and I ordered it on Uber. And it says thank you. So cute. I did finish Out of Darkness last night, and so I wanted to give you an update on it and my feelings about this book. So last section of the book was a whirlwind of events that happened, because it all circles back to the event that this whole book is based on, which is the unfortunate explosion that happened in an elementary school. So after that, it was just event after event after event, and I stayed up until 1 a.m. trying to finish the book because it was so good. At the end, I just was left with this, I just felt so angry and sad and there's so many emotions for the characters. I'm not angry at the book, I'm angry for the characters, and it made me feel so many things. I think it was written well when it portrayed how people handle grief, especially when it comes to accidents and things that are out of people's control. People ask the what ifs. Oh, if only, if only, if only. I think I'm going to rate this book 3 out of 5 stars. It doesn't mean it's a bad book, it just means it's a good book. It didn't blow me away, but it was still good, and so I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars. So today I'm going to start reading Marina. Let me show you the cover. And yeah, I'm really excited. Again, I don't know much about this book. All I know is that it's set in Barcelona. It's a gothic horror book, and I'm really, really excited because he's one of my favorite authors. So just an update on one of the books that I was reading. It's Aristotle and Dante. I finally finished it the other day on my way to work. I'm giving it 5 stars out of 5 because it was beautiful. It was amazing. It made me feel things inside. I just love the 2 characters, Aristotle and Dante. They're just beautiful, beautiful boys, and I loved reading about them and their friendship together. And I have to say, the narrator in the audiobook version is top-notch. Like he did great narrating. It made me feel more immersed in the book thanks to him. So I recommend, if you haven't read Aristotle and Dante, I recommend listening to it on the audiobook. It's an amazing journey. So I started Marina yesterday. So far, nothing scary yet, but it's already magical. Right away you get the sense of the same magical feeling that you get when you read Shadow of the Wind, his other famous book, because it's set in Barcelona again, and there's this boy who lives in a boarding school, I believe. I don't think we find his name yet. No, I'm still in like chapter 2, I'm really in the beginning. But yeah, in chapter 1 we find out there's a boy. He went missing for a couple days, I think it was 10 days, and he's like, here's my story, here's how I disappeared and no one was able to find me, here's my story. And then the story begins and we get introduced to this boy who lives in a boarding school. He likes to explore around the city, and when he's exploring he suddenly hears this music playing that seems weirdly familiar to him. So he tries to like find out where the music is coming from, and then he comes across this golden wristwatch, and he takes it with him and then goes back to the boarding school. And that's all I know so far, but just the way Carlos writes is just so like fantastical, and I'm already loving it so much. I think it's a book that I have to really concentrate though, because I really want to appreciate the way he explains things. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to taking my time with it and delving into this magical world that Carlos writes. at the near the end of Marina, and I just wanted to do a quick update because it is so intense. Like I don't even know where it started. Like it was pretty chill and mysterious, and then all of a sudden things starts picking up, and now it is just so crazy. And just I needed to take a break right now because I'm almost done, but it's just so much things happening at once that I am just like but it's so good. Things are picking up. I'll get back to you when I finish the book. Buenos noches, everyone. I just finished my final book of this reading vlog, which is Marina. Oh man, I don't even know how to begin. First of all, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. For sure. There's something about the way Carlos writes that it's just so like magical. Even though this book is supposed to be gothic horror, which it is, it's just the way he writes is just so magical, and there's just something amazing about the way he writes, and I can't put my finger around it. Like I mentioned before, the last bit of the book was very, very intense. Oh man, it was a roller coaster of emotions. It got so intense that I had to like go take a break a little bit and then finish the rest of the book later on. It kind of had a Frankenstein vibe to it, so I hope that kind of gives you an idea on why it's a gothic horror novel. It's not for the faint of heart because it does get pretty dark and a little bit gory. Holy moly, I just cannot express how much I love this book. It's like one of those books that you put down and you're like, you already know that this is gonna be one of your top favorites for sure. And I'm not surprised. I'm so glad Carlos didn't let me down because again, his other book, Shadow of the Wind, is one of my all-time favorite books ever. I think it's perfect for this season, especially this month of October. If you're looking for gothic horror other than Mexican Gothic that everyone keeps recommending on BookTube, I highly recommend Marina. But with that said, that's going to be the end of my Latinx Heritage Month vlog. This is kind of a realistic vlog for me. When I am working, I rarely have time to read, so even though I only read 3 books, I very much enjoyed all of them, and I'm very happy with my reads. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog as well, and I'll see you next time. Adios, bye!